For you, do bus lanes help the free flow of traffic in Essex? One lane in Colchester town centre was designed to ease off congestion from the High Street into Queen Street. Now, since it has been put in place by Essex County Council in 2013, drivers who have used the route anyway have generated £2 million in fines. Now, are these fines demonstrating a high number of I'll go where I please drivers in Colchester, or is this bus lane completely unnecessary? On the line, John Salmon from Colchester Civic Society, who's head campaigner in getting this bus lane removed. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ronnie.
Let's go back then. What the reason it was put in was to, I suppose, to help traffic flow. Is it helping traffic flow as far as you're concerned?
No, in short, because most of the traffic circumvents the bus lane by running on further past down the High Street and then doing a U-turn outside in the entrance to the First Sight Gallery. The number of people who actually use the bus lane and do so, I'm sure, must do so inadvertently because they're going to get fined quite significantly. So, those are drivers who just don't know it's there. There must be, if there's 60,000 who have been fined for going around the bus lane, there must be hundreds of thousands who actually do the U-turn. And that's for our concern because it's a public safety issue, basically. It's not so much, we're not so much concerned with the traffic flow. We don't think it makes any difference because people are largely ignoring the bus lane.
So that's the question I was going to ask. Because you would imagine, John, if it's a tourist area and people are coming through and going, okay, I've gone down the wrong road. But a lot of those people who are turning around know that they can't use the bus lane. So
yes, that's right. Well, the people who do those U-turns, it's not through traffic. It's people who are coming into the town for some reason or other. They might be disabled drivers who are parked in disabled spaces in Head Street and High Street. They could be delivery drivers. They might just be picking up or dropping off people around the town or parking in private parking spaces. There's plenty of those as well around the town. And also, of course, people are wanting to access Priory Street, where there is a major car park, there's schools, and there's churches, and there's a mosque, and just about everything imaginable in that street. So there's the people who are making that turn are doing so because they have got business in the town or they need to access Priory Street.
Do you think we need a bus lane there?
No, no, we don't. It serves no function whatsoever. It made sense in the first place, perhaps, when bus lanes were first introduced, in order to stop north-south traffic through the town centre. But we have a bus lane at North Hill as well, so any traffic coming in from the north can't do that anymore. So there is no sort of through flow of traffic from High Street into Queen Street that isn't just going back onto the Southway, which is the relief road to the south side of the town centre.
We've got a statement here, and then I'll come back to you. I've got a statement from Councillor Ian Grundy, which you might want to hear, John. Essex County Council Cabinet Member for Highways has said to us, all money generated by penalty charge notices in relation to the misuse of this bus lane is reinvested to help improve public transport, roads and the wider transport network across Essex. The High Street bus lane is clearly marked with 5-foot letters saying bus lane, a red surface and several road signs to warn drivers not to enter the area. We believe the signage is sufficient, but we're always open to improving signage and we'll keep this under review. Keeping bus lanes clear is vital to help ensure buses run on time. We recently announced plans for extended opening hours and new ticketing options in the park and ride to help remove cars from the congested town centre and give visitors even easier access to Colchester. So, signage is adequate, do you reckon, John?
I personally don't think there's any issue with signage. No, but that's not the issue as far as we're concerned. The issue is that the bus lane shouldn't be there. It's dysfunctional for the operation of the town centre. Now, when those bus lanes were first put in, there was absolute uproar. Not just from the general public, but from businesses in the town centre. They wanted the bus lanes taken out again because they adversely affecting business. Now, so they were taken out without any notice whatsoever. And then 6 months later, the Queen Street one and the North Hill ones were put back in. We have a statement from the previous portfolio holder at Highways, Eddie Johnson, and he says, that the function of that bus lane is to assist in reducing traffic flow in the town centre and helps provide public transport, including the park and ride service, with bus priority, leading to consistent and attractive journey times. Well, it might possibly do that to some limited degree, given that there's 60,000 people ignoring the bus lane, and there must be hundreds of thousands of people actually ignoring it by doing the U-turn. But our issue is with the safety of the pedestrians who get off buses at the town centre and try to walk into town and have to cross Lewis Gardens, which is a shared use area. It's not simply a road. The pavement is clearly marked and people are on it. Now, when we first put something on our Facebook page about this was almost a year ago now, and over the space of 3 days, the video put up was viewed 65,000 times, and our page was flooded with comments from pedestrians and drivers calling for the scrapping of the High Street, Queen Street bus lane. And some of those comments, for instance, this one, last month I saw a man hit by a car and swept off his feet there. The car had swung in quickly to avoid oncoming traffic, then swerved to avoid the previous car that had turned there, knocking into the man. Luckily, he walked away. Don't think a child would have been so lucky. Now, another one that came in around about the same time, I sat at the bus stop opposite for 10 minutes waiting for a bus, and in that time I watched 41 vehicles turn in the entrance to First Sight. There were several near misses. One pedestrian on the path outside the gallery had to get out of the way of a car that had misjudged the junction. It's total madness, especially in rush hour.
John,
now, those are the issues as far as we're concerned. John, it's a major safety issue, and County Highways refuses to even consider taking it out. Right.
Last question for you, John. Are you optimistic this bus lane will be removed?
Well, I'm not at the moment. Things have moved on in that the Borough Council wants to see it removed, and recently in the summer there was a sort of a meeting between senior politicians from the Borough and County Council, who apparently agreed on a set of priorities for the town, and that included dealing with this issue of the U-turns and the bus lane. But the main concern there is that this will be part of a review which is going to take several years, I'm told. And so this situation could go on for several years until they've finally come to a conclusion about what to do about traffic in the town generally. Our argument is this is a dangerous situation, and the bus lane serves no useful function anyway, so should simply be removed. And, well, once the review is completed, well, they can do whatever they think is sensible and safe. But in the meantime, that bus lane needs to be taken out.
John, thank you. John Salmon from Colchester Civic Society. If you're a resident and you're a car driver in Colchester, do you agree with that? The bus lane from the High Street into Queen Street should be removed. The council say it's needed to help the flow of traffic. What's your thoughts? And are you one of the 60,000 people ignoring the signs? Are you one of the thousands of people who are doing a U-turn and it would seem unsafe to do the U-turn in